Instagram's now live. Hi, welcome. This is number 4 of the truth about joy. One of my favorite topics. It is one of my favorite topics. Just seeing a person, hi Lisa, be able to step into their truth, to step into their empowerment, to step into their birthright, which I deeply believe is their joy. My name is Michelle Boulay. If we haven't met yet, I am a transformational life coach, a healer, and a dancer, and I'm committed to helping you uncover the truth of who you are and learn how to uncover it and live by that and create your life from that. Because when you do that, you connect to your joy, you connect to your power, you connect to your ability to contribute even more in life, to create beautiful relationships, to love the work that you're here to do, to connect to your purpose, to be an amazing parent, for me, an auntie, and just to embrace why you're here and allow that to support all the people around you, to contribute, and also to receive what happens when you give of yourself freely. I painted my nails gold today. So I want to jump into this topic. I have some really wonderful things I want to share in this 4th of 4 videos. And I also want to say, just to announce this one more time, that I will be taking people through this process of uncovering their joy, your joy, connecting to your confidence, your clarity, and being able to create what you want in this life, to receive. It's not only create, it's also to be able to receive that, to be the person who can take that in, who can create and also take that in. I'll be doing that this summer with a very small group. We have some spots left still for my in-person retreat here in beautiful, today, very sunny, spacious Montana. My retreat is called Receive, Renew, Recreate. It's a 5-day in-person meeting here, and it's a 7-week journey that involves private coaching, group coaching and healing work when we're together at the retreat, movement practices, meditation practices, being in nature practices together and alone. You'll have plenty of time to be alone as well. And then follow-up support. So this all happens over the course of 7 weeks, and it will be transformative. So if you're ready to take the next big steps in your life, to get your clarity, to claim your confidence, to step into the life you desire, because you're the one creating it, then make sure you get in touch with me. DM me. You can say retreat or help me. I want help. And we can start a conversation about that. So today, what I want to talk about with joy are a couple thoughts. One it's just the embodiment of joy. What do you think about when you think about someone who's joyful, joy-filled? There's usually a glow, there's a radiance, there's a light in that person's eyes. And depending on, I think we're actually all sensitive to this and we pick it up subconsciously. There's an openness and a freedom in their body. And by our very natures, we are seeking that. We are seeking that integrity. We are seeking that truth. You can see those flowers behind me. I always love working with nature, flowers. It's like they're just blooming into their integrity. They're claiming their space. They're taking, they're getting their support, moving towards the sun. If you like, a friend pointed that out to me just the other day, like this plant that he rotates, every day, it just within the day, it just moves towards the sun. It's a jade plant, and it just changes direction and moves towards the sun. We do that too by our very natures when we don't cloud ourselves with shame, guilt, judgment, embarrassment, limiting belief systems and stories. So one thing that I work with people is, how do you embody that? What do you have to think and believe about yourself? What do you have to let go of? How do you live into that? How do you feel that? So if you just feel into your body now, are there places that feel tight? Is your breath available to you? And what I do is, in different ways, I take people through a process. And I'll just say this for now, like, do you feel? Just take a breath and just see how that feels. Notice where the breath is moving in your body or not. Your breath is an invitation. It is inviting your body. It's inviting your whole body to the party. Your breath moves every single cell, every single particle. It is, in yoga they say perfect breath is perfect health. So it's inviting you to be integrated. It's inviting you to feel connected. It's inviting you to see every single aspect of yourself. And a lot of times when I'm working with a client and something comes up where there's a conflict, sometimes it's just like we're on a roll talking about things and I'm like, wait a second, are you take a breath. What's going on in your body right now? What are you feeling? And then that will just route us to the place we need to go, because a lot of times your body knows it. If there's a suppression, a repression, a tightening, that is not part of your integrity. Joy is an expansive, it's acceptance, and it's expanding just like life. And however your body is feeling now, it's totally fine, right? Because part of joy is about accepting, oh wow, I have a serious kink in my upper back right now. And it's not just like, I'm just going to ignore this and go on. It's like, okay, I'm curious. Gratitude. Okay, I know there's an opportunity here. What's going on? Like for me as a young dancer, I learned quickly, I just sprained my ankle, or my foot really hurts. Okay, this is an opportunity to learn more. I take out my anatomy books, look up what that foot looked like, look at the muscles. As I started working with consciousness and definitely sprained my ankles, I was like, oh wow, what's that usually related to? From a consciousness perspective, it can be about your adaptability. I'm doing this as a foot and an ankle. Your ability to, you're walking and you, here I'm like walking on rough ground. My foot goes like this and my ankle's just like, I'll adapt. I can just rebound right into that. I don't want to go too much into ankle injuries. I could talk about that for an hour and how that relates to consciousness in your process. But what I want to emphasize here is that everything you're feeling is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to tune into your more clarity, more joy, more possibility. So if you just even plant that seed into your body, into your mind, gratitude, oh wow, this really hurts. Let me get curious about this. I know that there's a gift here. What do I need to ask? What is this thing? How is this opportunity, injury, disappointment, or whatever, asking me to course correct, or I should say you, to course correct your life? And it's this beautiful concept that I hear my mentor say a lot. You will always have what you need. It may not look like what you want. It may not look like what you want, but it is giving you something that you need. And the faster you can turn that around and see and think about the situations in your life from that vantage point, the faster you will beeline to your joy. You will beeline to your truth, to your desires, to your vision. So that's one thing. And when I work with a client, as I said, one-on-one especially, but when I'm doing my group work too, it's like, okay, what's going on there? And I will see, a person trying to sort of like push their body through and like, okay, I got it. But all they really need is just like to breathe and be seen. Oh my gosh, let me just have a cry. Release something. And then we go in there and just organize, okay, what's really going on here? What are you thinking? When did this shift? What memory is this related to if we need to go there? Who told you this? Because when you learn how to tell yourself the things that support you, to tell yourself and to live by, not just tell yourself, right? You can't just think, but to tell yourself to think in alignment with the way life really operates. And I'm going to say universal law. This is something I've been studying now for a couple years, really in depth, as a way to turn your life around, to work with how the universe is operating and step into that flow. Because if you look at nature, it is flowing. It goes through its chaos. I'm looking out my window. It goes through its chaos. It calms back down. It goes through the chaos again. it calms back down. But and that's a natural thing too, right? There's a law of rhythm. Our life ebbs and flows. So the more you can understand those things and change the way you're looking at your world, the faster you will be able to create your vision. So we're looking at the body. So I was talking about the embodiment of joy too, right? So a lot of that just comes from your thinking. What are you believing about yourself? If you're walking around believing that you're a piece of crapola, ugh. I mean, even as I say that, it's like I feel my upper spine kind of do this thing and my body kind of shrink. I want to just present to you another opportunity. What if you looked at yourself in the mirror today and said, hey, I love you. You're doing an amazing job. There is an opportunity here. That life is calling you. It moves me to tears. Like just to feel that life is calling you into your greatest expression. Life is calling you into your greatest expression. That's your homework assignment. Look at yourself in the mirror and say that and see how that feels. Like really, really feel it. Again, it can't just be a mental idea. It has to be embodied. There needs to be an emotion around that. So if you struggle with that, then what do? It's like you're saying, Michelle, I can't just do that. Some of that, what that requires sometimes is really getting in there with someone, whether it's with me or a healer that you know. It's best when it's someone who has like no interest. Friends and partners can do this with you. But if you really need to go deep sometimes, you got to bring someone in who has no vested interest in anything but your success. You want to work with someone, hire someone. Hi, Kaz, in Australia. Haven't seen you in a while. You want to work with someone who knows how to do that, who knows how to see you for who you are, who knows how to bring truth to the picture of how you're seeing your life and can encourage you. And the reason I'm saying this also is because for many years, I studied this system called the breakthrough system. It was a life science branch of body talk. And I had one teacher who would call it your guard dog gets really high. It's like as soon as you start to go into that place of potential change, it's like, okay, here's a belief system. Here's a new belief system that might challenge how you're living now. So because how you're living now is the result of what you're believing. It's a result of what you're believing. And your subconscious mind, hi Shelly, says you're safe. Don't change anything. You're safe. Don't change anything. So what happens is a new belief system gets introduced. And I had so many teachers that would say, and then your guard dog's like, it's like, let me judge that person. Let me retreat. Let my body, because I've been talking about body, you can feel your body might start to lock down. Your body might start to get rigid. Your breath might start to get shallow. So it takes a lot of times someone's guidance to just say, okay, hey, really, like what's going on here? What's underneath this? It's very hard to do on your own. And I see people, I've experienced it myself so much. As soon as someone's like coming in there, oh God, I've experienced it so much, and helping me shift my belief systems, your mind can just be like, what is going on? Like, I had no idea. For me, I go into confusion and overwhelm. But that happens. It's like people might get sleepy. They might get angry. You might get angry. You might get sleepy. And it's finding someone who can walk you gently and powerfully past that guard dog that is trying to keep you safe in a way that is not your truth. Because you are here to express. You are here to create. You are here to experience abundance in love, in connection, in your finances. And one of the ways that really starts to happen is you start to figure out who you are. And that's something I've been saying for these past weeks, that you're letting yourself start to notice, oh, actually, I kind of want what that person has. And not in like, oh, I gotta have that thing. It's just like you notice this. It can be, wow, that person's really happy. I want to see what they're doing. that person is taking a vacation. I want to figure out how to do that. And for me personally, I've shared this story in different ways. I had a successful career in New York, internationally, dancing and teaching, getting awards and grants and residencies and all those kinds of things. But I was living at a financial limit. And I was like, how in the world, like I want other things in my life. How in the world am I going to do that? I just knew also that there was a part of me that wanted to serve more people. So I had to let myself get curious. I had to let myself listen to, what do I want? And I started working with an amazing coach, but I resisted for a long time because I judged it. As I said, when you're going for something bigger than what your life currently is, your stopping strategies will come in. And I saw myself judging all the time in a false effort to keep myself safe. And then finally I was like, I need your help. I called this wonderful man I worked with for about a year and a half, and it was a life-changing journey. It was more money than I had ever invested, but I made it back. I made it back and I made like triple that back. So I would not have known this is possible had I not listened to that desire, had I not been able to take a bit of a risk, had I not been able to see that I was afraid. This is a really good thing, like write this down or just like plant this in your head. When you're going for something big, you will be afraid. Like knees shaking, but just it's if you've done this, you've probably done this. I know you've done this in some way in your life where there's something big that has called you, and there's fear, and then that saying fear is just excitement without the breath. And you take a breath and you go for it, and then you get to the other side and it's like, wow. I have a very simple example from last summer, which you may have heard me tell this story, but it's just so simple, but I want to share it with you because you can probably relate to it. I was at my parents' home in Illinois, and there's a pond behind their house, and some neighbors had put a diving platform on there. And my younger sister and her two kids and I jumped into the pond, which I hadn't gone swimming in that pond since my teenage years. And it was just like, oh my God, the pond smell, the murky bottom and all the things. We swam out to the diving platform. My younger sister's like doing flips off the diving board. And I got onto the diving board and I was like, I really want to do a flip, but I'm afraid. And I just had to breathe. I used my skills of like, okay, I'm going to imagine the flip. I was like, and I thought like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I know I just need to jump this far out. I could belly flop. It's such a small example, but I think it's a really good one. And it was actually very powerful for me because, and the two kids are like sitting there watching me, sort of like chewing their nails. Oh, Auntie Mimi's afraid, like what's going to happen? And then I did it and it was amazing. And it freed up that energy. And then I did it again and again. That was like flip twist, So it's the exact same thing for anything in your life that scares you. If you surrender to the fear and the stories around the fear around something not being possible, guess what happens? You stay in that place where the thing is not possible. If you decide to change your thinking, get into the spirit of the emotion of this thing that you desire, you have to get into the emotion of it, like excitement about the thing, gratitude about the thing that you want, whatever that goal or vision is. And then you start taking action and you do the thing that scares you. Sometimes people, it's interesting, when I'm working with people, sometimes I see they'll like not even want to admit that they're afraid. Right? Because fear can, it may make a person feel like they're vulnerable. It may make a person feel like they're weak, which can feel very threatening, especially if that was not, if you did not have experiences of that being okay in your upbringing or as a child. But to learn to be able to hold yourself in that. And sometimes, again, it takes someone else's faith in you, someone else holding that space for you to be able to take your own leap, to be able to do your own metaphoric front flip. And yeah, you might land on your face a couple times, and that's part of the journey too, right? But to be able to pick yourself up and say, okay, I made a mistake. I made a fool out of myself. I want to keep going because this is a thing that I want. So I want to backpedal a little bit on that and not go for too much longer, which is just start it. I said, this is the thing. Like if you say, this is the thing that I want. And to really, really, I'm taking stillness here. Just so that you can really, really allow yourself to feel that, to own that, and to claim that. This is the thing that I want. We're talking about embodiment too, right? To bring that right into your center line. And depending on your sensitivity, you might feel, oh, my body's wanting to do this, or thoughts come in. Well, you can't want that. You can't have that. Who said you could do that? Just swat those flies away. I got a fly into my house today. Just swat those flies away. This is the thing that I want. And the reason I'm doing this energetic line too, because when it's resonating with your truth, what do you have there? You have a spine, you have a back, you have roots, you have your legs right down the center. I've studied this beautiful work called source point therapy, and I use that sometimes with my private clients, but definitely in my group work sometimes. There's a simple technique around your midline. If you don't have that center line, your body doesn't know what to organize around. And part of that center line is your clarity, your truth, the things you desire, the thing you are here to do, the life that you are here to live. So are you giving yourself quiet time to center around that, to believe it in through your body, with your thoughts, with your breath? And then do you have a plan of action to take from there, from that alignment? Do you have the support you need, the things I was talking about in terms of how you need to think, to be able to take those leaps of faith, to turn off the chatter? That'll happen too, right? Your mind likes to be very active, to turn off that chatter that's like, hey, let me distract you over here. And you just have to be like, thank you. I'm busy. I'm busy making my dreams happen. I'm busy letting love come into my life. I'm busy connecting to my purpose. I'm busy connected to my joy. Thank you very much. Just letting that go away. So this is the embodiment. Joy is an expansive energy, but it's not a spasmodic energy. It's focused. It knows how to be still. It knows how to direct energy to be able to create what you want. So I just want to give you that encouragement, to allow yourself to feel centered, to be centered, and permission to dream bigger than your current reality. Because if you don't do that, you'll just get better at the life you're living now. And is that what you really want? If you're okay with that, cool. And life is meant to grow. Life is meant to continue to expand. And once you start to do this work and get into that momentum and rhythm, you will find that you understand that pattern, and you can't not grow. You can't not improve your relationships, not improve your financial situation. You'll understand it, so it will just get better. You will find your safety and confidence within yourself. You will learn how to live it, how to breathe it, how to think about it, how to take it into immediate action. Because that's one of the greatest stallers, if I can call it, I don't know if that's a word, to joy, is an inability to take action. I see it all the time. I've experienced it myself so much, like that waffling back and forth. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Is it time? Is it not time? The question to ask yourself is, do you really want this? How bad do you really want this? And to let yourself know that it is possible. And that those belief systems that are trying to put a cap, not like a bad cap, a cap on your potential, need to be released so that your highest expression can come out. that your highest expression can shine through you and can be a gift to this world. You will be fed because you've stepped into that circulation. You will be supported. You're not like stepping away and losing your grounding. You're actually creating that ground. You're knowing how to find it, to resource it, to create it. Because you are a powerful creative center. That feels good to me. I hope that feels good to you. So if you want to do this work with me, if you want my support, because as I said, I know this from my own experience. I know it from working with hundreds of clients where we reach a point where we get so far on our own and then we need to bring someone else in. We need to bring in someone else's support. I'll be honest, I have like 3 coaches right now. Yes, and I want to pull out Mr. Morphmatics. Thank you for popping in here. I love seeing you. Sharing, I love taking leaps and taking on new adventures head on. Life has too much to offer than just being average. Create your own universe. Thank you for saying that. I love that. It's really true. Check out what Mr. Morphmatics is doing. And his beautiful daughter. It's your daughter, right? I think you have a daughter. I remember seeing her picture. So if this is something you want to do with me, please let me know. I'm doing a one-time only in-person retreat this summer. And as I've said to some people, this is likely something I'm not going to be doing again. This size, this investment at this beautiful ranch here in Montana that is healing beyond healing, that is grounding beyond grounding, and just beautiful and expansive and spacious. We are going to move every day. I'm going to help you find this in your body. We're going to do coaching and heal. Well, I'm going to coach and heal you guys. You're going to heal yourself, and I'm just going to give you guidance. The healing is always coming from within you. We're going to do that every single day. We're going to meditate. We're going to spend time in nature, doing creative practices. You're going to have time to just chill the shenanigans out on this beautiful ranch. And again, this is something I'm only doing this summer, this July, for 5 days, July 1st through the 6th. It's actually part of a 7-week journey that starts with a private coaching call with me. We meet for 5 days as a group, and then we have 2 group calls after that. So I want you to feel really supported in this transformation, because that is so necessary. Not just like, here's the thing, here's the book, like go do it on your own. I want you to just feel that specificity of support and that continuation of that moving forward. So send me a message. I'll put a link in the comments below so you can check out that page as well. Have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday evening or whenever you're watching this. And here is to your joy. Here is to your creative expression. Oh my God, it's going to make me cry. And shining your light in the world. Shining your light in the world. Like, as our friend here is saying, it's like, why limit yourself? And as I've said before, I know how painful that is. I know how painful it is to feel limited. And that's why I'm so committed to helping you remove those limitations, a lot of them which you may not be able to see. But if you get a little spark in your heart that says, hey, I want more, make sure you find the person, the program, the environment, the community that supports that. Because if you get to the end of your life and you haven't done that, that may be a bit of suffering. The time is now to do this. If you want to do it with me, again, reach out. We can have a conversation. But make sure you're doing something to contribute, to receive, to bring more joy to your life, and in turn to bring more joy and possibility to everyone around you, and even beyond around you. The effects of what you do are more powerful than you think. Here's to good choices. Here's to more joy. And I'll see you another time soon. Make sure you're following me here too if you haven't done that yet, or sign up for my newsletter because I send a resource email out every weekend. Alrighty, see you later. Thank you, Lisa. It's nice to see you. Bye. End number 1 and end number 2.